Hey, what's up, everybody? Ryan McDonald standing by with Rob Pearsall, who is one of you are like one of the dudes making UFC on the PSP, correct?
You got me.
Now, one of the designers working on the game, you have it there. This is something that people really haven't seen a whole lot of at all. Let's go ahead and take a look, because I know I'm a huge fan of the UFC, and I'm sure a lot of people watching at home are. And it looks pretty awesome on PSP. Let's see what you got.
You guys might recognize our fighters here from the fight this last weekend. Anderson Silva and Chael Sonnen.
Nice.
Now, one of the things we had to do to get the game to work on PSP was to take our control scheme and actually fit it toward all the controls on the PSP. You'll notice we're missing an analog stick, we're missing a couple shoulders, so we had to make do with what we had.
So how do you guys got it going on? So you got the D-pad rocking over there.
Yep, we still got the D-pad for movement. You got your punches and kicks on the face buttons, just like we always do. I can block high with my right bumper, my right shoulder button, and it also acts as my technique button, so I can get my head kicks.
Nice.
I can get in here.
So the feel is pretty much what you're used to for the console counterpart, correct?
The feel is UFC 2010. Get in there, nice spinning back fist. If you double tap while you're holding the bumper, it's your technique button, so that's going to give you some sways and leans and get your head movement in there. And now your left trigger helps you block to the body, attack the legs, and shoot for takedowns.
Oh, nice.
And Chael's a pretty good wrestler, so I don't see Anderson getting to the ground that way.
So yeah, let's you gotta get somebody on the mat here, because I guess that's one of the first questions I have is, now that you don't have that stick, how do you handle the grappling?
Well, all the grappling is handled on the analog stick that the PSP provides us. Yeah. So we've got PSP here. I can do a major transition and get into mount.
Now you're doing the same motion with
the same motion. It's the little, it's the quarter circle turns, like our minor transitions, and our greater than quarter circle turns to get off and get around. You can still transition to most of the positions that are on the ground. To fit the game onto the PSP and bring in a lot of the new content we had, like animations, strikes, and some of the new submissions, we had to get rid of some of the ground positions, unfortunately. So we got rid of some of the positions that were brought to just single fighters. So you're not going to see rubber guard, you're not going to see butterfly guard, but you've still got all the bread and butter of the UFC.
Nice. Oh, you should go ahead and just clean them out. Take them out.
All right.
Take them out. I want to see, if you take them out, we'll go look at the list of fighters you have in here. So as you're beating up on Chael here, how did the roster make it into the PSP version? All the guys, some of the guys, most of the guys?
We got all the guys in UFC 2010 on UFC PSP.
Man, that's awesome. You guys are really doing awesome over there.
It's a pretty good roster. It's all 100 plus fighters. We got the guys in each division. We got your champions, your up and comers, and your contenders.
Well, let's take a look if you don't mind scrolling through for us.
Yeah, sure.
So you got the rematch. I mean, this is the real deal. You guys really shrunk it down and put it in your hand.
Yeah, well, we took a lot of the modes out of UFC 2010 and put most of them in here. You've got exhibition mode. We've got title mode where you can go for a title. You've got title defense where once you get it, you have to defend your title. We've got ultimate fights mode, tournament mode. So we go through the roster here.
Oh yeah. No fooling, you guys got them all in there. Is it still broken out like by weight class, like it is on like?
Still broken out by weight class. So first you choose your corner. We don't have any AI versus AI fights on PSP.
I gotcha.
And then you choose your weight class. You're going to recognize a lot of these menus if you've played UFC 2010,
right.
And you're going to see the same sort of menus, the same UFC presentation, all the fight graphics on PSP.
So, nice. Maybe back off, or either jump back in and let's take another look at another fight here before.
Oh, sure.
Now, one of the things that you had on here, there's the main menu screen and everything. One of the things I saw earlier, I mean, you guys straight up had like full motion video and everything going on in the PSP. What was that?
Yeah, we still have full motion video for Ultimate Fights, and we still have a lot of the cutscenes for career mode. So you still train with Mark Lyman, and you get into the WFA, you get into the UFC, you start off on your fight nights and your Spike TV cards, and then you go on to main cards, you go on to pay-per-view events, and then you win your world championship, if you're good enough. And then try to become a UFC Hall of Famer, retire, and you can take that creative fighter and go beat up your friends with him.
Now, being a fan of the console counterpart, are you guys handling the training and everything exactly the same, or is it slightly different? Or?
Training's done the same on PSP. Career mode is a pretty straight port from UFC 2010. We cut down a number of voices, but you still interact with Mark Lyman, and you still work your way up from one organization to the next.
Excellent. Now, who are you thinking about picking for your final fight on the way out here?
I'm going to see if I can get Brock Lesnar to submit Shane Carwin.
That sounds pretty awesome. So, speaking of which, that was an awesome fight, by the way. Did you think it was going to go that way?
I had absolutely no idea. Yeah. That fight made me a Brock Lesnar fan.
Me too, actually, yeah. I think probably did for a lot of people, because up to that point, he seemed kind of like the big bully that was kind of just pushing his way through most fights.
Well, he was sort of playing up a heel, which is what he knows, but he wanted to come in and say that he is a mixed martial artist. He is a fighter, and he is actually training. He's not just some dude who comes in and slams on people, so I think that was really, really cool. Because once he got the mount, I was watching in the bar, everyone thought the fight was over.
Oh, yeah.
And then after he got out of mount, everyone kind of looked around for a second and then saw he was going for a choke. The crowd went nuts. And then when Shane finally tapped, it was over. I don't think the fight could have ended any other way.
I mean, for me, I'll be honest, like when that fight first started and Shane started tapping him and I could see him rearing his head back, I thought this is the end of Brock Lesnar. It looked like he really didn't like getting hit a whole lot, which, for big dudes, sometimes when they get touched real hard for the first time, it is like, oh, I don't want to fight no more.
It's really good for Brock that, he actually got in there.
I mean, yeah, it seemed like, he made a conscious choice at some point in that round. Like, you know what? Yep. I am not going to lose. Like, he's just like, I'm done. I'm not going to lose to this dude.
It's really good. Let's see if I can get this.
Look at you going for it.
Going for my arm triangle. Now, submissions are handled the same way on PSP, so you're going to be rotating the analog stick.
Oh, look at you.
And we can relive that fight.
That's really cool.
And then, honestly, my favorite thing about PSP is that I can then take it on ad hoc. So, like, you go on a vacation, you're playing in the car, you want to play at the beach or in the office when you should be doing work, like I do. Yeah. You can take PSP on ad hoc and play against all your friends.
That's super cool. No infrastructure, though?
No, you just, you have a PSP, I have a PSP, we set up an ad hoc network, and we play each other.
Excellent. Well, I wish we brought a second copy of the game. So for folks that do want to get their hands on it,
that means 2 dev kits through airplane security.
Definitely better the way we did it. So for the folks at home that are looking get their hands on it, when is
September 7th.
September 7th. That's super awesome. Well, Rob, you came by and answered all of our questions. Thank you so much. Super appreciate it. So the game is UFC 2010 for PSP. You heard it right here yourself, September 7th. Check it out.